It's all about the questions that you ask. If you want to make 10 grand a month online, your first 10 grand a month, I've heard things like that, and it would make me really pissed off and frustrated. Like, what do you mean? Well, you want a higher quality life, then ask higher quality questions. Tony Robbins talks about this stuff. It's true. I'll tell you something real quick here. At the peak of your frustration, you become satiated. Like, the frustration reaches its peak, and at that point, when you're the most frustrated with maybe the lack of the results that you wish you had or you believe you deserve at this point, when you get the most upset and you cross through what's called threshold, then you get what's called an insight. So when the pain of staying the same gets worse than the pain of changing, you'll change. And you'll be like, well, I've heard stuff like that. But what it changes is your ego lets down the critical defense mechanisms and the bullshit stories you're telling yourself of why you can or can't do something, or why you hate something, and then you finally let your guard down and say, all right, dude, I'm done of battling myself. Just tell me what the answer is, and I'll go do it. That's when the change happens, and you make money, at least in my experience, from what I believe to be true. We all have different spiral dynamics. We have different personalities and different ways that we see things. Some are highly emotional. Some people are very data driven and they don't have much emotion. I'm very emotional and data driven. What I was going to say is, so ask your higher quality question by letting your guard down and trusting other people, and you're going to kiss a lot of frogs. There's a lot of bullshitters, but get out of the story in your head. You know, I don't know, freaking self-appointed guru here, but here's what I want you to do. Here's your homework. I want you to go find the people who actually have the results in what you want to do for real. They really have the real results in doing what you're trying to do. Now, don't just listen to what I'm saying and say, okay, that's a good idea, and then go look up somebody on YouTube. I'm talking like dive in and go pay the money to either get around that people or those people, that person or those people, or go to a live event to get around those people and dive in. It's probably going to cost you a little bit of money. And sometimes here's the next thing. This is kind of like a whole nother video, but I'll just say it right here. Sometimes you can take 80 hours of online courses, or you can get the one question that you have answered by one person in 30 seconds and save yourself thousands of dollars and 80 hours of bullshit. Because, so I study this stuff a lot, and there's something called just-in-time information. Like, why would you go read a bunch of stuff about something that's an event coming up when you're going to forget it all anyways, because that's not your area of mastery, when you could just open up your phone, go to the document, and read it all and get educated, like an hour before the main event. You can learn it all then. Just-in-time information. You're going to retain it then, you're going to use it then, you're probably going to forget it. So the way the brain works is, if you get access to information that is valuable, but it's not exactly where you're at and mirroring the pain point that you're having, a lot of it's going to go in one ear and out the other. So you spend all this time, I'm like coaching myself right now. You spend all this time getting all this information that's good stuff, but you just don't have it's the wrong puzzle piece for this moment, right? So it's good to be aware of all that stuff, but you want to go find the puzzle pieces of the shit that you need right now. Man, I'm coaching myself. This is weird. And I'm saying this because I've actually gone back and I've watched some of my old videos from like 2015 and 2016. I was cresting in my consciousness and meditating. I was like peaking. I was actually more alert than I am now in certain areas. And I went back and I watched my own videos. I was like listening to myself, and everything I said was making sense, and I was learning from myself. I was talking about like overcoming struggles in a context, the content I actually hadn't been through yet. It was so weird. It was incredible. I was like, I need to keep doing this. And it's not about me, I'm just here to serve. But anyways, what about you? So I'm about to cough up another $3,500 after I just coughed up $2,000 to fly across the country and go to this mastermind event and be around some really high level, 7, 8, and even 7 and 8 figure earners. Because the people that make all the money, they're just flesh and bones. They're just people, just like you and I. They just have different tools, and they have access to a vehicle that you don't have. And so we make this weird distinction. Oh my gosh, they're a genius, and some of them are. But just do the shit. Peace.